Houston is Stockholm. Mr. La Quala Tintash Wakwala. My older brother that's left us now. He's gone on. Gone on, but he did that carving that's behind us here today.
Okay.
How was the last time I was here? When that pole went up. In this place we call Paquayalwood. Paquayalwood. Paquayalwood means to us ancient wood. Ancient wood. And the ancient wood of the fir, the firs that are around here, you'll see them in the forest. The oldest ones are laying down on the ground. And they turn a kind of a brownish red color. And it looks like the old ones, they look like they got little squares all around them like that. Little squares. And that's the Paquay. That's what we call Paquay. And Paquay, all people use for thousands of years for carrying fire from here to there and to wherever they're going to travel to. It's like a little punk material that, a smolder material that is easy to light a fire with. And they would carry it in a shell, a horse clam shell, or a big shell, in the front of the canoe if they're traveling by water. And they'll take it with them wherever they're going to go. And when they needed to light a fire, then they put a little bit of smonich or pitchwood with it. And just blow on it and they got fire just like that. Rain or shine. So this must have been a place where there was lots of that here. Probably a big forest a long time ago. Fir forest. Fir trees. There's lots of Paquay here. You know, I'm here to be with the family. I wanted to see my cousins from here. Right there, the French family. Our grandmother, Cecilia Cooper Elliott. She had a couple of sisters, Auntie Mrs. Olson, that's all I ever knew her by. My dad called her Auntie Mrs. Olson. And from then the Olson family. And the Dick Harrier family, that's partly here today too, here as well. And they would travel out here to see their sister. They called her Auntie Mrs. French. My dad called her Auntie Mrs. French. That's how he knew her too. But her name was Tsiquat. Tsiquat. That was her name, Tsiquat. Same as some of the Tsiquat from Charles back home. Yes. They were the Ngan of Chesamati Kulatamkan. And Kulatamkan was my dad's name. That was given to him by the original Kulatamkan in Saanich. He was the eldest son of our warrior of the Saanich people. His name was Kulakwinted. And his mother's name was Suksakalwat. And they refounded the village back in the day, in 1730, after they had been living in the other side of the peninsula. For 100 years they stayed over there with the family that sailed. But they moved back and refounded the village in Charlotte in 1733. Before that, the original village was down in a place called Sneetwell. They call it Todd Inlet today. So the family's been around these parts for a while. So when they moved over from one side of the peninsula to the other, they started a clan because they were getting beaten down. They were getting beat down by enemies from afar. They had to protect the land. They had to protect these places and the way of life and the way of living. The way I saw you today, my dear relatives that were dancing here and singing and drumming here today. Continuing on, passing it down from one generation to the next. I saw that here today. And I was moved to tears on my chair as I saw you and I felt you. And I met relatives here from the Hilaire family today. We worked with your dear niece, dear cousin, Rose Henry, for years at our school. Yeah. She helped us to continue the language on. I pray for her children every day in my prayer. I never forget them because we loved her so much. And she loved her home here. Our relatives over here in Chlummy and the Shelacha, over here on the American side. We never experienced so much difficulty trying to come over to see you folks as today. They have a different way about them. They make a really hard border between our relatives. We weren't like that. Our borders were soft borders amongst our families. We didn't kick one another out of our beaches, our islands, our territories. We shared it together like we love one another. We're family. We're family together. That's what we are. And I guess we're here today to remember that. We'll remember our relationships with each and every one of you here on this side or that side of the border. It shouldn't be that difficult, but it is nowadays. Because of the way things are, it's not what we want. It's not what we desire for it to be that way. But they never consulted with us when they made a border halfway across our homelands, where our families were living on the other side. I have my youngest daughter here today. I passed my first name I took from my late father, Stalquist, and she's Stalquist, Addie Elliott, named after my auntie, Auntie Addie. Auntie Addie, French from here. And at home I have a son, his name is Oren, named after an uncle from the French family here. My name's John, I was named after Uncle John French from here, in the French family. Yeah. And my sister Mary, my younger sister's name, Mary, named after Auntie Mary French from here. Auntie Mary French was an important person here. She had a big job to do. Not that she wanted it, but she was appointed that in her lifetime to be a Shewa or foreseer for the people. She could see into your heart, into your body, and she could call on your help when you needed whatever it was that you might need to carry you on in life in a good way. And many people came to her for help, and she helped many people. Much like our other ancestor from whom where Tiochton, our relative, comes from. An old lady, they called her Monica. Monica. Yeah. Just come on. Just come on. She was like a healer at home. She healed her mom when mom was young. She healed her and prayed on her. She rubbed on ratfish oil on her body and healed her and prayed on her and made her well and strong again. So Mom said, when I was a young man, let's go fishing, catch a lot of fish. She said, don't forget Monica. Bring some fish to Monica for me, will you? And tell her who you are. Tell her who your parents are. You're Dave Elliott and Beatrice Parliament. Tell her who you are. Okay, we'll go knock on her door. I got a fish for you. Got a fish for you, Monica. Oh, English, she said. How much is it? I said, it's not for money. Mom just told me to bring it to you. Her name is Beatrice Elliott, and my dad, Dave Elliott. My name's John. I'm here to bring you a gift. Oh, thank you, grandson. Thank you. That was the kindness that was within our ways of learning and knowing. And that should live on in all of us, in the way that we work with one another. That our